Okay, so it's in the 40s now. We've been having 80, 85-degree days. And projected forecast for next week, by Thursday, it should be in the 30s. And I saw a couple of days, like maybe by next weekend, in the 20s. So I'm back at Dolly. I've gone inside. I've turned on the little heater. I am about to so I'm locking her up. Locking her back up. I got a few things from inside that I want to take home. Take home. Back to Kerrville, Texas. I'm in Center Point, Texas. It's nice and cold in the 40s. It's nice and still, though. Nice and still. I will be anchoring, weighting with the weights. This is a weight, a water-filled bleach bottle. And I'll put it the umbrella is anchored really good. So if we get snow and rain, it's anchored. Going across and coming this way, it's anchored. Whew, really good. So I have a bottle here. Well, it's not that heavy. It's maybe half full. That's enough. Okay, that's enough. Like I said, we'll zip this back up. Zip this back up. Okay. I got a few things that I'm taking home. Full brand new unopened bottle of peroxide. Pretty brand new t-shirt, never been worn. It's for Resurrection Sunday. What's the name of that company? Love Design something, where I get my t-shirts that have the biblical and Christian theme. And then I also have this never opened, never before opened, brand new area rug. And so, excuse me, we'll do the walk around on the way out of here. We'll go this way. We'll go this way. And I just love it out here, though. Oh, if I could just, Lord help me, realize my dream. 3 years ago, I started this project, and it's still not totally livable. It's only 40 feet. It's a 40-foot long used shipping container. The back 8 feet here from this area to the end is totally uninsulated. I didn't have enough money to pay for that. So 32 feet from this end all the way, from this section in here all the way to the other end, I did manage to get all that part insulated. So that would be kind of like the living area. And back here, uninsulated part, I'm calling the garage. Before it got really, really cold, I was able to climb onto the top and put some of the roofing protection. It's like a cold tar. I put it up there. I got a 5-gallon bucket, and I managed to take almost a gallon up the ladder at a time, dipping from the 5-gallon can into empty. Oh, I had a vinegar bottle, and I forget what else. Oh, I need to plug the electric heated water hose right here. I need to plug that back in. Well, the easiest way for me to, I don't want to lay my pretty nice new, yeah, unfortunately, oh, look at that. I made a mess. I dripped some of the black tar-like stuff. I accidentally brought some of it over too far, and it ran down the sides of Dolly. So I want to paint it anyway. So that's one reason I wanted to get that tar top done first anyway, before actually painting and then ruining the paint. So eventually I want to paint the whole container. Maybe put some siding on, decorate it nicely. That's the dream. Will I realize that dream? Maybe not. But I'm actually already living huge parts of my childhood dreams. I grew up in the ghetto slums of Chicago. First 37 years of my life, I was in Chicago, Illinois, not in nice areas of Chicago. I eventually made it for a while to some of the middle class areas. I ended up in foster care, kind of like a ward of the state, from age 7 to 17. And during that time, I was living with licensed foster parents who were middle class income. They owned their own homes, and they were doing well compared to where I came from. They were. I had moved on up to the east side. Deluxe in the sky. Moved on up to the east side, whatever. Anyway, I finally got a piece of the pie, I thought, for a while. I don't know. Anyway, so I grew up having many nightmares. I grew up living nightmares. The first 7 years of my life, I say, was preparatory school. And then age 7 to 17 was finishing school. My biological mother lived with schizophrenia most of her adult life, so she had many mental health issues. She would occasionally behave very strangely, she would do bizarre things. Anyway, my brother and I survived that because it was just the two of us for a while. Our father left my mother, divorced my mother, and he relocated from Chicago to California and found someone else and remarried and started a whole new family. I was told after the fact that he reasoned that married life was so stressful for her that perhaps the best thing he could do for all concerned would be to exit stage left. Maybe just being a mother would be less stressful and triggering for her. He didn't realize before he had even left, she'd already been directing some of her bizarreness, bizarre behavior to my brother and I. But anyway, he left us. Into the picture soon stepped Daddy Demonic, my stepfather. They eventually had 4 children together. So when the stepfather, met our mother, she was not the most stable person, obviously, and she had a little girl and a little boy, and he was a predator. And I think, his attitude was, pay dirt. Anyway, I won't go into all that right now, but in essence, basically, Illinois Department of Children and Family Services basically rescued me. They got me and, well, my brother and I both, they got us out of his clutches before he took us to total ruination. Spiritually, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, physically, S.A. Lee. Anyway, he had already begun to groom me. I think he got hold of my brother also. I'm not sure. But anyway, my brother, just passed, and I'll go into that dealing with grief situation another time. He apparently left this existence a few weeks ago, January 21st. It's questionable because we all became estranged, so to speak, as separated. I no contact kind of situation. I'm the oldest of 6. So I grew up, again, living nightmares. Lived in some tenement housing. We moved around quite a bit before being put in foster care. We lived in some tenement housing and slum housing. Tenements were, I guess, maybe popular back in the, I don't know, 30s and 40s. I'm not sure. Before there were such things called projects, there was tenement housing. That was interesting. I can't even try to describe that right now. But anyway, by the time we moved into Robert Taylor housing projects, they were like brand new, and I was a little girl, and I was so excited. And I remember smelling the smell. When I have flashbacks occasionally, I can smell the newness of the apartment. Vinyl, plastics, whatever the chemicals were from the new apartment. And I thought, wow, we're in a brand new apartment. Well, I never forget, for some reason, it's still stuck in my head. We lived in 4444 South Federal, apartment 1003. Wow. So we were on the 10th floor, and sometimes the elevators went out. Anyway, we were kids running up and down the 10 flights, I guess for me and my brother. Not that we did it a whole lot, because sometimes, we were kept inside, but again, that was an experience. So I grew up, and I remember seeing, looking around and seeing all the steel and concrete and glass, thinking, I don't know, I fantasized a lot. I daydreamed a lot. I got in trouble for school. I was a good student. I loved school. It was my refuge. But I got in trouble pretty much at least once a day. I had to get reprimanded for daydreaming. And I retreated into my world of daydreams because I got in trouble otherwise for talking to other classmates. If we were given assignments, I often, especially spelling, reading, language arts, those were my favorite subjects. I was reading by the time I went to school a little bit. I had read some Cat in the Hat books, Dr. Seuss books, And so in kindergarten, I didn't want to just do see Dick and Jane. You know, I had mastered that already. But anyway, that's the kind of material little kindergarten first graders were presented with at that time. Learn how to print your name, write your name, maybe start to do some cursive writing, count, write the numbers out, print the numbers out, print the ABCs out, and I would finish little coloring assignments or whatever assignments we were given. We did spelling bees, and I would finish usually and try to sit there and be quiet, waiting for my classmates to finish. I would be the first or one of the first to finish and have a hard time sitting there patiently, and I would start whispering, SCHOOL. Tell people how to spell that's not right. No, it's two O's. Whatever, I would get caught giving answers. So I would get punished for that. I got punished for that enough to get me to that point of, like I said, okay, retreating into the world of make believe. And so I'd be fantasizing and daydreaming. I'd be sitting there real obediently, probably with a little innocent smile on my face, while I was actually in my head flying around the world. I had wings, I had a butterfly, a wing set, I had little angel wings, and I was a Peter Pan kind of character, and I would see butterflies and orchards and fields of flowers, and I would see ladybugs, caterpillars, frogs.